Right, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation that's kind of been playing out within the last month or so. It started at the beginning of June, there's been some updates throughout June, and now there's been a much bigger update within the last couple of days. And this is basically the story of how a TikToker posting a negative review on a restaurant resulted in legal action threats, and ultimately resulted in the restaurant closing down. Now, before we get into that, I do just want to quickly let you know that next month we are hosting a charity football game in memory of one of my lifelong friends. All the money raised is going to be going towards Encephalitis International, and as we can see here, Encephalitis International is the only non-profit of any size anywhere in the world providing direct support and information to people affected by encephalitis, brain inflammation, raising awareness and furthering our understanding of the condition through research. So yeah, in case you don't know what encephalitis is, it's inflammation of the brain and it can cause severe brain damage and also cause death. It's not talked about enough, especially with how devastating it can be, so we want to try and raise as much money as possible to help give support to people who are affected by encephalitis. So if you do have some money to spare and you want to donate to a great cause, that's going to be linked in the description and the pinned comment, and yeah, I appreciate it. Okay, so getting into the topic of today's video, the main person you be aware of in this situation is UGC with Hanua. Now, Hanua recently uploaded a video talking about her experience at a restaurant called Farsi Cafe in Mississauga, Canada.
I cannot believe that I'm the only one who got scammed by Farsi Cafe at Square One, literally Farsi. So I went there for dinner with two of my friends, and I've been there before, thought we'll go there, have a good time. Anyways, we decided to order our mains as it was 9 p.m. already, so we just decided to go with the mains. This over smart server shows up and tries to push some cocktails based on our zodiac signs. Okay, we were like, no, we don't want any drinks, and we clearly tell him that we do not want to order any appetizers.
So yeah, this is important, right? So the waiters came over and started trying to tempt them to buy some other things like cocktails, appetizers, stuff like this. Waiters might do that at a restaurant, right? But usually when you say you don't want any of that stuff, they don't give it to you. But in this case, and as we'll later find out, in a lot of people's experiences at this specific restaurant, they started receiving things that they didn't order.
So he goes, okay, cool. I'll get you started with some pani puri, and leaves. Didn't even ask, just left. Next thing we know, pani puri lands on our table. We are like, we did not order this. And then 10 minutes later, papri chaat shows up on our table. Again, we tell the server that we did not order this. The server says, oh, it comes with the pani puri. So now we are thinking, okay, maybe this is something odd house or a complimentary starter.
Well, it turns out it wasn't complimentary at all, because when they received the bill, it was $240, which they then realized was too much.
Fast forward, we finish dinner, get the machine to pay, and one of my friend pays the bill, and now it gets very interesting. So we walk out, and my friend goes, wait, the bill was like $240. I was like, excuse me, for 3 mains and for 3 Diet Cokes, we paid $240. We checked the menu prices online, start doing our math. It didn't add up. So we walk back in and ask for the bill. And guess what? They don't give it to us. They say, we will email it to you in 10 minutes. And why 10 minutes? It was just printed like 2 minutes ago. We wait, no email, no follow-up. Then finally we get it. And while we are standing there and waiting, we check the Google reviews of the place. And it was all there. Review after review. People being scammed the exact same way.
Okay, so let's actually take a read through of some of these reviews. So bear in mind, all the reviews I'm going to read here are way before Hanua posted this video, right? So before it became like this viral situation. For example, this review is from a year ago, and it says, the restaurant boasts an impressive presentation and a lavish dining environment. However, their service is severely lacking. If possible, I would rate them as 0 out of 5. They use misleading tactics to push extra items, making it seem like they're complimentary, only to clarify later that it's free only if you didn't consume or like it. Additionally, there's a troubling blame game between the servers and management. In my experience with top-tier dining, any complaints are usually addressed with a refund, discount, or a replacement dish. Unfortunately, this establishment failed to take any responsibility and even responded rudely, showing eyes as if they were more angry than us. And then they go on further to talk about the food and how it was and stuff, right? But the main thing here with today's situation is this misleading tactics, getting people to order things, making it seem as if it's complimentary, but then later charging them. And in fact, looking on TripAdvisor, you can see many reviews from over 2 years ago at this point saying very similar things. I'm very dissatisfied with this cafe. They charge a lot extra money for stuff that we did not order. And about the tip, there is this very bad policy. They charge $50 to $60 just for the tip, even if I'm not able to pay. Please be wise with Publix, stop doing this. So it seems like this has been a problem for quite literally years, and it just so happens that it has now went a lot more viral. And in fact, just on the subject of that tip, like we just read in the review, Hanua actually goes on to talk about this gratuity fee that they weren't made aware of.
So we confronted the server, and now he's like, who said it was free? It was happy hour thing. Like, happy hour, are you serious? We did not order this, and we literally told you we do not want any appetizers. You pushed it on us. You left it on our table and you charged $39 for it. How does it even make sense? Oh, and then the best part, 18% gratuity added to the bill without telling us. Even though their menu says it, that gratuity applies to parties of 5 or more, we were 3 of us. And we tipped on top of that, obviously, because we were never shown the breakdown at the time of payment.
Now, Hanua ends the video by basically saying they denied their thing. They did actually get somewhat of a refund. They got $39 on a gift card to what I assume is a gift card just for the restaurant, which isn't very good, right? Because if you've had such a negative experience at the restaurant, you probably don't want to go back. But also Hanua goes on to talk about further just how many people have had such a similar experience.
When we confronted them, they completely denied everything. There was no acknowledgement of what just happened. They just gave us the $39 back on the gift card and refunded us the tip. There's more. Then we walk outside the restaurant and there's this another couple who were there at the restaurant, and then he tells us that a very similar thing happened to us. Now, after research, I found out that they have been doing this to so many people. There are so many reviews that are about the same thing. They even mischarged us. Their malai kofta on the menu says $25 and they charged us $29. How is this even legal? This is not about $39. It's about the fact that they're doing this to people intentionally. They're cheating their customers and hoping like nobody will notice. Farzi Cafe, you really need to do better.
Now, we actually have a couple of responses to look through here. So we first of all have a response from the actual restaurant, right? The one that's in Mississauga. But then after that, we also have a response from the owner of the franchise. But first of all, let's take a response from the Mississauga restaurant. Public statement, Farzi Cafe, Mississauga. We are aware of a recent video being circulated by certain individuals regarding their experience at our Mississauga location. While we respect everyone's right to share their opinion, it becomes deeply concerning when personal views are deliberately laced with baseless allegations for the sake of attention without considering the potential harm such claims can cause to our business, our hardworking team, and their families. In today's economic climate, where job security is fragile and layoffs are frequent, our management has worked tirelessly to retain every member of our team. It is crucial to act with empathy and responsibility. Reckless and false narratives can directly impact the livelihoods of innocent employees who dedicate themselves to serving our guests with care and commitment. Our legal team is now actively pursuing the matter to hold the individuals involved accountable for the damage caused to our goodwill and business. At Farzi Cafe Mississauga, we remain committed to offering the highest quality innovative fusion food, service, and ambience. We sincerely thank our loyal patrons who continue to support us during this time. Okay, so that's a response. I've got to be honest, it is a bit of a nothing response, isn't it? They actually don't respond to any of the claims, really, other than just basically saying, like, it's not true. There's no proof or anything. There's not even really, like, a rebuttal to the claims, again, other than just saying that it's a lie. And the vast majority of the statement is basically just saying that claims like this can affect the business. Which, yeah, of course, no one wants to see employees, especially if they have nothing to do with this, like, potential alleged scam that people are claiming. No one wants to see them employees get fired, right? But you also can't just go out there and overcharge people and use these manipulative tactics to make them order food that they're not even aware that they're ordering without being aware that it's obviously going to get called out. And I think if it was just Hanua's video, that might be different, right? But the fact that so many people have came out with these exact same claims, it really does feel like this is an ongoing issue. Again, some of the claims are made from like 2 years ago, and not only 2 years ago, consistently throughout the last 2 years. Now, interestingly, the franchise owner has also came out with a statement that is very different to the one we just read. Massive Restaurant Private Limited, the franchisor and owner of the Farzi Cafe brand, Farzi Cafe India, wishes to notify the public, especially in Canada, that it has terminated its franchise agreement with Farzi Cafe Mississauga, the franchisee in Canada. Termination of the franchise agreement occurred over a year ago in April 2024. As such, Farzi Cafe Mississauga is no longer a part of the Farzi Cafe brand and family, and has not been since April 2024. In terminating contractual relations with Farzi Cafe Mississauga, Farzi Cafe India alleges serious breaches of the party's franchise agreement, with many of those breaches coming to light as a result of a customer complaints. Legal proceedings against Farzi Cafe Mississauga were commenced in June 2024, and the matter is currently before the court in Brampton. It is through legal proceedings that Farzi Cafe India seeks to protect its brand and the public it serves. While customer complaints continue to be received by Farzi Cafe India to this day, Farzi Cafe India wishes to assure the public that it is committed to protecting its brand and the public, and the customer complaints will be heeded. So okay, there's obviously some details we don't don't know, right? Like why the franchise agreement was originally terminated. But what we do know is that Massive Restaurant, which is the owner of the Farsi Cafe brand, has now took Farsi Cafe Mississauga to court. And this is due to alleged serious breaches of the parties' franchise agreement. Again, we don't know all the details, but I mean, it's not looking good for Farsi Cafe Mississauga, is it? But if you remember, in the original statement by Farsi Cafe Mississauga, they did say that their legal team is now pursuing the matter to hold the individuals accountable and all this stuff, right? So Hanua has actually posted a new video kind of talking about these legal threats. It's a video of her husband, and they go on to give like a bit of a recap of what's happened, you know, like the original video, which we've already looked through. They then go on to talk about the statements that were released.
After all this, the original Farsi Cafe brand owned by Mr. Zorawar Kalra issued a public statement. They said Farsi Cafe Mississauga is no longer part of their brand. In fact, they cut ties with the Canadian location back in April 2024 and confirmed that legal proceedings against them began in June 2024. And then Farsi Cafe Canada put out a public statement saying they're taking legal action not against the situation but against us for sharing our experience. Even with over 5,000 plus comments online saying the same thing. Even though Google reviews, Yelp, TripAdvisor are filled with people complaining about identical practices, they still choose to call it baseless allegations and personal views. And here's the part I don't understand. If all this was baseless, why are your comments turned off? Why does the Better Business Bureau give you an F rating? Why did the actual Farsi brand cut ties with you? And why did you block me? None of this adds up if your business had nothing to hide.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, all the evidence we're seeing here definitely does not look good in the side of the Mississauga restaurant. From what we can tell, they didn't try suing the countless amounts of other people that have left negative reviews, but it just so happens that Hanua's video went incredibly viral. And now they want to take legal action, which, I mean, first of all, it already seems like they're in a bit of hot bother as it is, so I don't know if that would be the best decision. But also, I don't think it will happen, right? Because as we'll later find out, the actual restaurant, like the location, closed down. But either way, this video was actually uploaded before the restaurant had closed down, and Hanua goes on to end the video by saying that she just spoke about her experience, it's not defamation.
We are not food bloggers. We don't make restaurant reviews for content. We just had a bad experience and we spoke about it honestly. And now we are being threatened with legal actions. Yes, I agree. We did not double check the bill. But let me ask you one thing. Does that give a restaurant the right to overcharge you? Because last time I checked, as a consumer in Ontario, we have rights. You are allowed to speak up. You are allowed to file a complaint. And you are definitely allowed to share your own experience. That's not defamation. That's protection. So thank you to everyone who stood by us. We didn't expect this, but maybe it needed to happen.
Okay, so that was the last video that Hanua uploaded on this situation. Now, we can actually see on this article by Now Toronto, it goes on to say, Mississauga restaurant Farsi Cafe shuts down following accusations of scamming customers. According to a spokesperson from Square One, Farsi Cafe is no longer operating out of the shopping centre as of Monday. However, the spokesperson did not tell Now Toronto a reason as to what caused the restaurant's closure. And now a bunch of Canadian TikTokers have also started making videos talking about the fact that the restaurant has shut down. For example, there's a video here from a user called Penny and Friends.
I just heard Farsi Cafe got shut down. It's actually crazy because I was there with a shorty like 4 months ago. I didn't put my experience on the internet, but it's crazy to see that after that one video, everyone started posting their experiences and the place got shut down. And yo, imagine doubling down and then they tried suing the person that posted the video. How are you gonna sue someone because your restaurant is ass? Okay, it's actually crazy. I'm happy they got shut down. When I went there, I was treated like booty cheeks, okay? Nobody showed me respect. The bill didn't add up at the end. And you know, the food just didn't taste good. And that's my opinion. How are you gonna sue someone for sharing their experience? Farsi Cafe, we need less businesses like you and more moral and ethical business in Canada that doesn't try to screw their customers. Farsi Cafe, what you gonna do? You got shut down, you gonna sue me too or what?
There's also another video I saw uploaded by a user called Naception. It's got copyrighted music in the background, but the caption does say that one girl really got the whole place to shut down, and then we actually see this letter on the front of the restaurant. So we can see this is a letter to the tenants from, I believe, the landlord, and it says, pursuant to the letter delivered to you and dated June 10th, 2025, the lease has been terminated. If you'd like to claim any property located at the premises or the storage premises which belongs to you, please contact the undersigned. If any of your property is not claimed within 5 days after today's date, then such items will either be sold or stored by the landlord on your behalf at your expense. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen here? Who knows if they're going to just relocate to a different place? I'm not sure. But obviously there is a current legal battle going on with this franchise agreement. Who knows what's going to happen there? Again, at this point, I would highly doubt that they're going to try and sue Hanua for a video, but again, who even knows at this point? Either way, I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video, and I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Also, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, we react to reality shows, stuff like that. That's always linked in the description. And also, if you have some money to spare and you want to donate to a great cause, the link to donate to Encephalitis International is going to be linked in the description and the pinned comment. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.